Hello, good morning, afternoon, or it may well be your evening. My name is Liz and I'm here. I've been asked to come along to talk to you about the Lilly Foundation. This is a bit of a strange situation, isn't it, with us talking to to myself on a screen, but I'll give it my best shot. It's the first time I've done anything like this, so I hope it works, and I'm going to share my screen with you to share you some slides. So bear with me if it doesn't quite go to plan, but hopefully it will. So yes, I've been asked to talk to you about the Lilly Foundation, what we do and how we can support you. I know there's a number of you who we know already and that we work with, but there may be some of you who have heard of the Lilly Foundation, not too sure what we do or if we can support you. Hopefully after today you will think that we can, and you'll get in touch and we can get to know each other. So I'm going to share my screen with you and go through my presentation. Bear with me. Okay, so here we are. Yes, this is Lilly. So as I said, my name is Liz, and with my family, we set up the Lilly Foundation after we lost our daughter Lily to a mitochondrial disease in 2007. She was 8 months old. Following Lily's diagnosis, her prognosis wasn't very good at all. So she came home to spend some time with us, to be with her big sisters, and she died just 6 months later. It really was a fantastic 6 months, but frustrating too, because we wanted to learn all that we could learn about mitochondrial disease and meet other people. But we found that the information that we found on the internet was just too complicated and inappropriate for parents like us. It was like it had been written for doctors by doctors. And we also found that there was no support network. We desperately wanted to meet other mums and dads in our situation, but we couldn't find any. So following Lily's funeral, we asked for donations rather than flowers, and we decided that we should use this to set up a charity. We had great connections. My brother-in-law is a football commentator for the BBC, and he's got lots of contacts in football. So we thought we could give it a good go. And here we are, 14 years later. So where are we? So the Lilly Foundation has grown hugely over the past 14 years, and we're very much supported by the UK's medical mitochondrial specialist centres. We've got a medical board that are made up of the UK's leading experts within the field of mitochondrial disease for both adult and paediatric services. Got Oxford's very own Victoria Nesbitt and Joe Polton, but also Bobby McFarland, Doug Turnbull, Mike Champion, Shamima Rahman, Rob Pixeatley, Mike Hanna, Andy Schaefer, and Rob Taylor. All of these doctors and scientists are hugely supportive of what we do at Lilly. The medical board are responsible for proofreading all the medical information and advice on our website, and are always more than happy to help us answer any questions that come our way. So what do? We are committed to finding a cure for mitochondrial disease. But to get there, we have a 3-point mission. Number 1, to support those affected by mitone. Number 2, to fund research. And number 3, to raise awareness of mitochondrial disease amongst the general public and of course the medical profession. Who do we support? We support anyone who is affected by mitochondrial disease. We support parents who have affected children, young adults and adults with the disease, and spouses and partners of those who suffer. For all of these groups, we offer one-to-one support, phone support. Depending on what your query is, it will either be myself or my colleague Alison, who you talk to. We offer email support. All emails come directly to me, and I can ensure that if I cannot answer your question, we will ask for support from our medical board and therefore point you in the right direction. And we have a Facebook support groups. We have dedicated support groups for each of these cohorts. One group for parents with affected young children, and the adult support group is for those who are affected aged 18 and over. Both these groups are a place to go to feel like you belong somewhere, to be part of a group of people that just get it and understand what it is like to live with Mito. You can ask for advice, give advice, and we monitor the groups very closely. And if medical questions are raised, we are able to ask our medical board for advice to share with the group or the individual asking, whichever is most appropriate. These support groups have been hugely successful and are now a lifeline for many. But we also offer face-to-face meetups, and we offer the different groups each something different. So for our families, which is for parents with affected young children, we host a family weekend. And this weekend is held at a hotel in Birmingham. The weekend starts on a Friday evening, giving everyone a chance to check in and get into their room and get comfortable, unpack. But it all really kicks off on Saturday morning. All the children and carers, if needed, are signed into a kids club for the day, and mums and dads head off to listen to the UK's leading experts talking about Mito and various aspects of living with Mito. The kids club is fabulous, fully inclusive for ages 0 to 16, with craft activities, indoor and outdoor activities and games van, virtual reality games. We even made a film one year, and each year it gets better and better. We hold some lectures and some focus groups, and topics are chosen by those who attend. But they do tend to cover topics such as research updates, practical advice, age-related concerns and Mito, and where are we with treatments. So Saturday evening, we host a gala dinner, a chance to relax, catch up with people you may have spoken to during the day, and after dinner entertainment for the children. And then for the parents, always a chance to relax with a glass of wine at the bar. And after a lovely breakfast on Sunday morning, it's time for the family fun day with all sorts of entertainment. Face painting and tattoos, giant slides, games. We have merry-go-rounds and all sorts of things, and a fabulous samba band to play us through the afternoon. We're also joined by the research teams from around the country who are there to explain to you about the mitochondrial research that they are doing. And just before we all go home, we enjoy a barbecue together. The Lilly Foundation covers the cost of this weekend for families and carers. For the whole weekend, the hotel, the activities, the food, but we don't cover the cost of the drinks. So, for our young adults, aged 18 to 30, we host a residential weekend and inclusive activity centre in the Lake District, the Calvert Trust. We've only hosted one of these to date, as last year's and this year sadly couldn't go ahead because of COVID. But our first young adult weekend was absolutely incredible. We had a fantastic time. We zip wired, we did high ropes, we climbed mountains, we did horse riding, and that was just during the day. After dinner, we came together for a quiz night on our first night, and on our second night, we played a race night. We all made new friends and truly had the time of our life. Also for this age group, this year we are piloting a psychological support programme. Working with Dr. Ben Moran, who's a clinical psychologist who works with mitochondrial disease, we're offering one-to-one support for those who need psychological support. So please get in touch with me if you feel you can benefit. And for our adult patients, we co-host these patient information days. In pre-COVID times, the Lilly Foundation has provided refreshments following the information day, which gives us a chance to spend some social time with each other, to get to know each other. And we hope to develop these over time. And we definitely hope to be back face-to-face someday soon, well, next year. We hope. So our second mission at the Lilly Foundation is to fund research. And since the very, very beginning of the Lilly Foundation, research has been a primary focus of ours. Initially, we invested solely in a diagnostic service. Working with the 3 specialist mitochondrial services, we funded a gene testing program. In the early days, it was using chip technology, but as science has advanced, we've moved to exome sequencing. And it has been so successful with over 75 of our families who entered the program being given a genetic diagnosis. But this service has now been taken over and is now funded by the NHS, something we're hugely proud of. However, at Lilly, we are still very committed to diagnostics and to continue to invest in this area. We fund PhD students who investigate new novel genes that show potential of being disease-causing genes. Meaning that we are always finding new genes that cause mitochondrial disease, therefore find a genetic diagnosis for those who maybe thought they would never know. And our second arm of our research strategy is to fund treatments. After meeting and listening to patients with mito, it became clear there was a real frustration about the lack of research into treatments for mitochondrial disease. So over the past 5 years, we've moved into this area too. I thought it would be a good idea to explain how this works and how we recruit our research projects. Every year, we advertise a research call, inviting researchers based in the UK to submit their research to the call. Once all the projects have been submitted, they are forwarded to our international peer review board. The board is made up of specialist mito doctors and scientists from around the world. They review each project and grade them based on certain criteria. We then hold a meeting to discuss the grading and to agree which are the best quality research projects. Then the Lilly Board of Directors make the final decision which projects we should fund, aligned with our aims and objectives here at Lilly. We are currently funding 12 research projects all over the UK. And you can read about all of these on our website under the research banner. Over the last few years, it has also become increasingly important to liaise and work with international counterparts. Mitochondrial disease is rare. So the more we can work together with groups such as like our own around the world, the bigger the pool of mitochondrial disease patients we've got to work with. And we're currently a member of a global consortium who are looking into research into Leigh disease. The global consortium is made up of patient groups from America, from the US, from Australia and Italy. And together we're working to try to improve the lives of those living with Leigh. And that is just the start. It's hugely important and we're really, really very proud to be part of it. So our final aim here at the Lilly Foundation is raising awareness, not funding awareness as the slide says there. Apologies for that, that's a mistake on our part. So we raise awareness of mitochondrial disease. How many of you have been, when you've told somebody you have mitochondrial disease, they say, what, never heard of that, what does that mean, what does that do? It's hugely frustrating as a patient, as a parent. And in the past, we've been very lucky with our contacts. We've had some fabulous celebrities supporting us, giving up their time to either host the ball, take part in our comedy night, play for the Lilly Foundation in TV quiz shows, and much more recently hosting our virtual quizzes, including our patron, Josh Widdicombe, Lucy Speed, and our newly acquired Jane Danson. And others such as Alan Davies, Joe Brand, Russell Howard, Hermione Norris, and the infamous Peter Kay, who have all done their bit to help us raise awareness and raise the profile of the charity. And of course, raising the profile of mitochondrial disease. But it is without doubt that one highlight of the year with regards to raising awareness was the recent storyline on Coronation Street featuring Oliver Battersby. As tragic and sad as it was, and difficult for many of us to watch, it brought mitochondrial disease to the front rooms of millions of people around the world. Hits to the Lilly Foundation website rocketed during this time, with people wanting to learn more and understand more. And we hope that more people have now heard of the disease and that there is a reference point to which we can all mention when we're talking about mito. That's it from me today, but I really hope that I've given you a little bit of an insight as to what we do here at Lilly. If you want to get in touch, you can do so via our website. There's phone numbers and email addresses on there. Please don't hesitate to get in touch if you've been thinking about it. We're here to support you. Oh, sorry, bear with me. Yeah, so we're here to support you, and hopefully, hopefully it'll support you through your journey. I hope you've enjoyed my little presentation, and hope to see you face to face next year. Take care. Thank you. Bye bye.